Before you take your next supplement, let me ask you something unsettling. What if the very pill you trust every day is quietly doing nothing at all, or worse, slowly pushing your body in the wrong direction while you sleep? What if that stubborn blood pressure reading, the one that refuses to improve no matter how faithfully you follow instructions, isn't bad luck or just age, but the result of a simple mistake you've never been warned about? Here's the part most people don't realize. This mistake doesn't just delay results. Over time, it can actually train your body to respond less, making it harder and harder to get the benefit you're expecting later on. Many people wake up each morning believing they're doing the right thing for their heart, their bones, their future, yet beneath the surface, silent processes may be working against them. Have you ever felt that frustration taking something consistently, year after year, expecting protection, only to see numbers that won't budge and doctors adding one more medication? That quiet fear that maybe your body is slipping in a direction you can't feel yet, even though you're trying to stay ahead of it. And the most disturbing part is this: the problem often has nothing to do with the supplement itself. It has everything to do with when and how it's taken as part of your daily routine. In some people, this mistake doesn't just cancel the benefit, it masks the issue until the damage is further along and much harder to reverse. There's no pain, no warning sign, no clear signal that anything is wrong. Just the slow realization that what should be helping simply isn't. And while you wait for improvement that never comes, your heart and blood vessels may be paying the price quietly. In the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly why this happens, why so many well-intentioned people fall into this trap, and how correcting one overlooked detail can mean the difference between zero effect and real, measurable change. Many people assume that if they're taking vitamin D every day, it must be working. After all, it's simple, it's common, and it's been recommended for years. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some people take vitamin D faithfully for a long time and never actually activate it in their body. It passes through their routine, shows up on a blood test, and still fails to reach the places that need it most. That's why this feels so confusing. You can be doing what you were told to do and still see no meaningful change where it matters, no improvement in blood pressure, no sense that your body is responding. In some cases, the numbers look fine on paper, yet the underlying problem quietly continues. This is the crack most people never see. Vitamin D isn't just about swallowing a pill. It depends on a chain of steps when it's taken, what it's taken with, and how your body processes it throughout the day. Break that chain at the wrong point, and the effect can drop to almost nothing. That's why two people can take the same dose from the same bottle and have completely different outcomes. One sees real improvement, the other sees nothing and assumes the supplement simply doesn't work for them. But the issue usually isn't the vitamin itself. It's the way the routine interacts with the body. Once you understand where that breakdown happens, the frustration starts to make sense, and more importantly, it becomes fixable. Let me ask you a few things, and just notice which one makes you pause. Do you take your vitamin D the same way every day simply because that's how it fit into your routine? Not because anyone ever explained how your body actually uses it. Have you ever been told your vitamin D level looks fine on a blood test? Yet the reason you started taking it like stubborn blood pressure or another ongoing issue never really improved. Have you wondered why some people swear vitamin D changed everything for them, while for you it feels like nothing happened at all? And did anyone ever explain that vitamin D doesn't behave like most pills once it's swallowed? That what happens after it leaves your stomach matters far more than the act of taking it itself. Here's the part most people miss. There's a narrow window in the daily routine where vitamin D can either work with your body or quietly get sidelined. If it misses that window, taking more doesn't fix it. And that's exactly where many well-intentioned people get stuck doing more of the same, expecting a different result without realizing the opportunity for benefit has already passed for the day. For years, the same pattern has shown up in people who genuinely believed they were doing everything right. It wasn't about the dose they were taking. It wasn't about the brand on the bottle. They followed instructions, took the supplement consistently, and trusted that time alone would do the work. Yet the same frustrations kept surfacing, numbers that wouldn't move, benefits that never appeared, progress that stalled despite perfect compliance. What finally stood out was not how much vitamin D people took, but how they treated it in their daily routine. People who swallowed it the same way every day, like any other pill, often saw very little change over time. Using the same supplement, saw measurable improvements that couldn't be explained by dosage alone. Clinicians who started paying attention to these everyday patterns noticed something troubling. Many people were being placed on additional medications while unknowingly repeating vitamin D mistake day after day, not because they were careless, but because no one had ever explained the full process. Guidelines focused on deficiency numbers, not on how the body actually uses vitamin D once it's in the system. Blood tests looked acceptable, yet the body wasn't responding where it mattered. That gap between doing something consistently and doing it correctly is where most people get stuck. And once this particular mistake is locked into a daily routine, everything else fails downstream, no matter what changes you try to make later. One of the most overlooked mistakes happens quietly. Let me ask you something unsettling. On the surface, what if the very pill you trust every day is vitamin D, doing nothing, your body at all or more calcium, slowly pushing your body in the wrong direction, stronger bones, what if that stubborn blood pressure reading, the one that refuses to improve, here's where the problem begins. No matter how faithfully you follow doesn't decide on its own where it should go or just age. Once it enters your system, result of a simple mistakes you've never been warned about comes from another vitamin, the part most people are never told to think about. This mistake without it, calcium can drift into places over time. It was never meant to actually train your body to affect flexibility, making it harder and harder to get the benefit you're expecting. This is why some people see their vitamin D levels improve morning, believing they're doing the right thing, stiffer their heart, time, their bones, or notice their blood pressure creeping higher the surface instead of lower. Silent process is doing part of its job against them, but the rest of the system. Have you ever felt that frustration taking inside the body consistently? There are specific proteins that act like traffic controllers, only to see numbers. Their job is to take calcium and wave it to one more medication, where it strengthens structure. That quiet fear that maybe your body is slipping in a direction you can't feel yet. These proteins don't activate on their own. Stay ahead of it. They require the most disturbing part is to turn on. The problem often has nothing to do with the supplement itself. Builds where it has everything to do with when, tissues and how it needs to stay as part of your daily routine. In some vessels lose their ability to relax. Just cancel the pressure rises slowly the issue until the damage is further along and much harder to supplement that was supposed to help. No warning sign, makes the mistake, no clear so signal that anything is wrong. It doesn't cause pain right away. Realization there's no immediate warning simply isn't. You don't feel it, and while you wait for improvement, but once this misdirection becomes part of your daily routine, paying the price, the body adapts to it. In the next few minutes, you no longer preventing a problem why this happens. Trying to undo why so many well-intentioned people fall into this position. No one wants to be in. One overlooked detail can mean the difference far more time and effort than keeping it from forming in the first place. Many and people the only way to stay in their prevention vitamin D is to understand this. It must be working moving forward. After all, this is simple. Where many people get stuck, and it's been not because they made a new mistake, but because the earlier ones quietly some people take vitamin D faithfully for a long time and never actually activate it in their body. Even when the right form is chosen their routine and the intention shows up on a blood test, the body still has to fails to reach the places and that depends entirely on absorption. That's why this feels so vitamin D is fat soluble. You can be doing what you were told to do, the right internal signal to move from the digestive system into circulation, blood pressure. Without that signal, your body is responding, never truly enters the system. The numbers look fine on paper, why people can the underlying problem even increase their dose. This is the crack most people never see. The problem vitamin D isn't just about the body was never set up to receive on a chain of steps when it's taken. What's rarely explained is that the body and how your body processes it throughout the day. Some that chain at the wrong point, and the effect can drop to almost allowing vitamin D to be absorbed and activated efficiently. Others create an inflammatory environment that interferes with that process. One sees real improvement when vitamin D sees nothing without the right supportive context. Simply doesn't absorption drops, but the issue usually isn't the vitamin itself. So even the portion that does interact with the body may not work as intended. Once you understand where that breakdown happens, people can follow what seems like the same routine and end up with completely different outcomes. Let me ask you a few things, and it's how the body interprets what makes you pause. Do you take your vitamin D the same way every day simply because when results don't show up into your routine? Instinct is not because anyone ever explained how your body actually is resistant. Have you ever been told your vitamin D level looks fine isn't whether vitamin D works, the reason you started taking it like stubborn blood pressure or another ongoing issue your body ever really improved. Once you understand that, have you wondered why some people swear vitamin D changed everything for them? Doing it differently. While for you it feels like nothing happened at all. The routine, and did anyone ever explain that vitamin D dosing people behave like most pills? See results from those who stay stuck. What happens after nothing ever stomach matters far more than the act of taking it itself. That if vitamin D still isn't working, most people the answer must be to take a narrow window. But there's a quiet contradiction where vitamin D can either work with your body or quietly get people off guard. If it misses that window, taking more doesn't single experience in the body. That's exactly where many well-intentioned people one is a short-acting prescription form designed to correct numbers quickly, without realizing the opportunity how vitamin D has already made and used in the body. For years, staying active longer has shown up indicating more genuinely believed they were doing everything right. They may look interchangeable. It wasn't about the dose they were inside the body. It wasn't about the brand on the bottle. The difference shows up in how long the signal lasts. Took the supplement form is like tapping the body on the shoulder. Time alone would do enough to get attention. Yet the same frustrations kept surfacing numbers that wouldn't move. The other holds the signal long enough for the message to register. Stalled, despite blood levels may rise briefly with the finally stood out then was not how much vitamin D people took on paper, but how they treated it in their daily routine. In daily life, people who swallowed it the same way every day in the first like any other often remains often saw very little change over time. Others, balanced using the same supplement, saw measurable improvements that couldn't be explained by dosage alone. Clinicians this is why started paying attention to these everyday patterns. People are told their levels are normal. Many so they people assume being placed on additional medications only while unknowingly shows up on a test at a moment in time, day not after whether day. The signal not stayed because long they were careless, but because no one had ever explained the full process. Once this difference is understood, on deficiency confusion begins to clear. Not on how the body explains why someone can vitamin D once it's absorbed properly. Blood tests looked acceptable. The issue was never wasn't responding. It was the kind of signal that gap the body was doing something consistently and when that finally doing it correctly. The idea of most people starts to feel less reassuring. This particular more like the reason locked into a daily routine. In the first place. Everything else fails where everything finally no matter what changes where many try to make realize they were never actually your next supplement. Just aiming at the wrong target. Unsettling. Normal vitamin D levels sound reassuring, is quietly doing nothing at all or worse. Not a measure pushing your body in the wrong direction while you deficiency on paper. Stubborn blood pressure reading, the one that refuses to resilience over no matter how faithfully for many you follow instructions. Optimal function isn't well above the minimum range labs, but the result of a simple mistake that you've never been warned about. Extreme levels whereas levels that allow vitamin D signal to be clear. This mistake dosing T usable by the body. When levels hover near the lower edge of normal, the body often treats that signal harder and harder to get the benefit you're expecting later on. Holding replaces many people wake up each morning believing all the early right things come back into focus. Bones, a short acting form that doesn't stay active long enough. Silent processes may be never fully locked in. Have you ever felt that frustration limited how vitamin D could direct year after year muscle response, protection, even when effort was there, numbers that alignment wasn't, and doctors each adding one more medication. And the final target fear that maybe your body is slipping in a direction the result you can't wasn't failure, even though you're trying to stay ahead of it. Fully connected. And the most disturbing part is this: the confusion. The problem often has nothing to do with whether vitamin D works at all. It has everything to do with the goal makes sense and how it's taken as part of your daily routine. Many people realize they weren't aiming for resilience; they were aiming to avoid being flagged. And that's until the damage is further along and much harder to reverse. Keeps you off a list. There's no pain, no warning sign. Helps no you clear signal that anything is wrong, and confident, just the slow realization and recognizing that difference is often the moment people and while you wait for improvement, not just of a number on a report, your heart and blood but of how they want their body to feel and perform in the next few minutes. At this you're going to understand exactly why this happens, than it first appeared. Why so many well-intentioned there was never one single mistake sabotaging vitamin D. It was a detail can mean the moment vitamin D stops being something you really take measurable change, something you aim. Many people assume that if they're taking vitamin D every day, starts to feel logical. What felt frustrating begins to make sense. It's common. That change can be recommended clearly now. But
the
here,
form determines
the
how long the
uncomfortable
signal
truth.
lasts.
Some people take
Absorption
vitamin D
determines
faithfully
whether it
for
even
a long
gets in,
time
and
never
its partners
actually
determine
activate
how
it
that
in their
signal
body.
is used.
It passes
And the target
through their
determines
routine,
whether the
shows
body
up on a
treats it
blood
as
test,
maintenance or
and
support.
still fails to reach
Miss any
the
one of
places
those
that need it
and
most.
results weaken.
That's why
Miss
this
several,
feels so
and
confusing.
progress stalls
You can
entirely.
be doing what
This
you were
wasn't
told to
tea
do,
about doing
and still
nothing
see
wrong.
no
It
meaningful
was about
change
doing
where
things
it
out of
matters.
alignment
No
with how the
improvement in
body
blood
actually
pressure.
works.
No sense
And this
that your
is where
body
the
is
sense of
responding.
helplessness
In
fades.
some cases,
The
the
body
numbers
wasn't
look fine on
resisting.
paper.
Yet
AIDS
the underlying
wasn't the deciding
problem
factor.
quietly continues.
The system
This is
just
the
never
crack
had the
most
chance
people
to work
never
as
see.
intended.
Vitamin
Once
D
you see
isn't
that,
just
the
about
question
swallowing
changes.
a pill.
It's
It's
no
no
longer
longer
why
why
isn't
isn't
this
this
working
working
for
for
me.
me.
It
What
becomes
taken
what
with
does my
and
body
how your
need
body
in order to
processes
respond
it throughout the day.
That shift
Break
is
that
subtle,
chain
but
at the
it's
wrong
powerful.
point, and the
Because
effect
understanding
can drop to almost
replaces
nothing.
guessing.
That's why
Two
two
people
people
can
can
take
take
the
the
same
same
dose
dope-based
from
habit
the same
and
bottle
starts feeling
and
like
have
completely
completely
different
how to
outcomes.
use.
One
You're
sees
no longer
real
chasing
improvement.
numbers
The other
or
sees
reacting
nothing
to reports
and
you're
assumes the
interpreting
supplement
signals.
simply
And
doesn't
that's the
work
real
for them.
takeaway
But
here.
the issue
Not a
usually
promise,
isn't the
not an
vitamin
outcome,
itself,
but a clearer
it's the way the
relationship
routine
with your own
interacts with the
body.
body. Once
When
you
that
understand where
understanding
that
is in
breakdown
place,
happens,
decisions
the
feel
frustration
calmer,
starts to make
routines
sense
feel
and,
intentional,
more
and
importantly,
progress
it
stops
becomes feeling
fixable.
mysterious.
Let me ask you
You're
a
not
few
just
things
following
in.
instructions
Just notice
anymore.
which one makes
you
you
actually
pause.
understand
You
what
take
your
your
body
vitamin
is
D
asking
the same
for.
way every
If there's
day,
one
simply
quiet
because
takeaway that matters
how
most,
it fit into your
it's
routine.
this.
Not
Your
because
body has
anyone
been
ever
communicating
explained
how
the
your
entire
body
time.
actually uses
Subtle
it.
changes
Have
in
you ever been
strength,
told your
balance,
vitamin D level
recovery,
looks fine
and
on a blood
confidence
test?
were never random.
Yet the reason
They
you
were
started
feedback.
taking it like stubborn
Vitamin
blood
D was
pressure
only
or
one
another
part of that
ongoing
conversation.
issue ever
But
really
how it
improved.
was used
Have you
determined
wondered
whether
why
the
some
message
people
was
swear
heard
vitamin
clearly
D
or
changed
faded
everything
into
for
background
them?
noise?
While for you
When
it feels
form,
like nothing
absorption,
happened at all?
support,
And did
and
anyone
target
ever
finally
explain that
align?
vitamin
The
D
body
doesn't
doesn't
respond
behave like most
dramatically?
pills once
It
it's
responds
swallowed
appropriately.
that.
What
And
happens
that's
after
what
it
real
leaves your
support
stomach
looks like.
matters far more
This is
than the
why
act of
small
taking it
adjustments
itself.
often matter
Here,
more than
that's the
dramatic
part
changes.
most people miss.
Not because
There's
the
a
body
narrow
is
window
fragile,
in the
but
daily
because it's
routine where
precise.
vitamin D
It
can either
responds
work with
best
your
when
body
signals
or
are
quietly
steady,
get
familiar,
and
if it
sustained.
misses that window,
Once vitamin
taking
D
more
is
doesn't
treated as
fix
a
it.
signal
And
instead
that's
of a
exactly
shortcut,
where many
it fits back
well-intentioned
into the
people
body's
get stuck
natural
doing
rhythm.
more of the same.
And when that happens,
Expecting a different
strength
result
feels easier
without
to maintain.
realizing the
Stability
opportunity
feels
for
less
benefit
effortful.
has already
Confidence
passed for the
returns
day.
quietly,
For years,
not as a
the
burst,
same pattern
but
has
as a
shown up in
baseline.
people who
What
genuinely
matters most
believed
moving
they were
forward
doing
isn't
everything
perfection.
right.
It's
It wasn't
awareness.
about the dose
Knowing
they were
that results
taking.
don't
It wasn't
come from
about the
doing
brand
more,
on the
but
bottle.
from doing
They
things in a
followed
way the body
instructions,
understands.
took the supplement
That
consistently,
awareness
and
dosage
trusted
that
that
time
time
alone
vitamin
would
D
do the work.
applies
Yet
to
the
how
same
you think about
frustrations
health
kept
as a whole.
surfacing numbers
The
that
goal
wouldn't
stops
move.
being to avoid
Benefits
problems
that never
and
appear.
starts being
Progress
to support
that's
function.
stalled despite
That's a
perfect
different
compliance.
mindset,
And it
What
changes
finally
how
stood out
decisions
was
are
not
made.
how much
And that's
vitamin D
ultimately
people
what
took,
this channel
but how
is
they
about.
treated it
Not
in their
chasing
daily
trends,
routine,
not reacting
people who
to
swallowed
fear,
it
but
the
helping
same
you
way every day.
understand the signals
Like any
your
other
body
pill,
depends on.
often saw
so you
very
can move
little
forward
change
with
over
clarity
time.
instead of
Others,
confusion.
using the
When
same
you
supplement,
understand why
saw
something
measurable
works,
improvements
you don't need
that
to
couldn't
guess
be
anymore.
explained by
You
dosage
don't need
alone.
to hope.
Clinicians
Simply
who
started
stressed,
paying attention
observed,
to these
and stay
everyday
engaged
patterns
with your health
noticed
on your
something
own terms.
troubling.
And that
Many
kind of
people were being
understanding
placed
is what
on
makes
additional
progress feel
medications
steady,
while
sustainable,
unknowingly repeating
and
the same
genuinely your
vitamin
own.
D mistake.
If this
changed
changed
how
how
you
you
think about
not because
vitamin
they
D,
were careless,
it likely
but because
changed
no one had
something
ever
bigger
explained
too.
the full process.
It showed that progress
Guidelines
doesn't come
focused
from
on
chasing
deficiency
fixes.
numbers.
It comes
Not
from
on how the
understanding
body
systems.
actually uses
Once you
vitamin
see
D
how
once
signals
it's
work in the
system.
body, you
Blood
stop
tests
feeling
looked
behind.
acceptable.
You stop
Yet the
feeling
body
like you're
wasn't
missing
responding
something
where it
obvious.
mattered.
That
You
gap
realize
between
that
doing
clarity
something
was always
consistently
closer
and
than
doing
you
it
thought.
correctly.
That's why
where
learning
most
matters
people get
more than
stuck.
shortcuts.
And once this
When you
particular
understand the
mistake
why,
is locked
you don't
into
need
a daily
reminders
routine
or motivation.
Everything else
You make
fails
better
downstream,
decisions automatically
no matter what
because because they make
try to
sense
make
you.
later.
Health
Before
stops
you
feeling
take your next
fragile
supplement,
and starts
let me
feeling
ask you
navigable.
something
Not
unsettling.
perfect.
What if the
Not
very pill you
guaranteed,
trust
but
every day is
understandable.
quietly
And that
doing
alone
nothing
removes
at all
a lot
or
of
worse?
anxiety people
Slowly
carry
pushing your body in the wrong
years.
direction
This
while
channel
you sleep.
exists
What if
for
that
that reason.
stubborn blood
To
pressure
break
reading,
down
the one
complex
that
health
refuses
topics
to
into
improve,
patterns,
no
your
matter
body
how
already
faithfully you
recognizes.
follow instructions?
No urgency,
Isn't bad
no
luck
pressure,
or just
just
age,
clear
but the result
explanations
of a
that help
simple
you stay
mistake
engaged
you've
with
never
your
been
health
warned
instead
about.
of reacting
Here,
to it.
S, the
If
part
that
most
approach
people don't
resonates with you,
realize.
staying connected here makes sense because every result builds on the
Over
same
time,
foundation.
it can actually
Understand
train
your
your body
first,
to respond
action
less,
second,
making it
and
harder
before you
and
move
harder
on,
to get the
take a
benefit
moment
you're
to
expecting
reflect,
later
not
on.
on what you'll change
Many
immediately,
people wake up
but
each
on what
morning
you understand
believing
they're
now
doing the
that
right
you didn't
thing
before.
for their heart.
That
Their
awareness
bones,
is the
their
real
future.
shift. Yet beneath
When
the
you
surface,
lead with that, You're not
Silent
just watching
processes
content
may be working
anymore.
against them.
You're participating
Have you ever felt
in your
that
own
frustration
long-term health
taking something
with confidence,
consistently,
clarity,
year after
and
year,
control?
expecting
As you move
protection,
forward,
only
remember
to
this:
see numbers
the body
that won't
doesn't
budge,
resist
and
healing.
doctors
It
adding
responds
one more
to clarity.
medication.
When signals
That
are
quiet
aligned,
fear that maybe
the
your
system
body
does
is
what it was
slipping in a
designed
direction
to do,
you can't
not
feel
instantly,
yet,
not
even though you're
perfectly,
trying to
but
stay ahead of it.
consistently.
And the most
And
disturbing part
consistency.
is this:
Over time,
the problem
changes
often
outcomes
has nothing
more
to
than
do with the
intensity
supplement
ever
itself.
could.
It
Most
has
people
everything
never
to do
struggle
with
because they're
and how
careless.
it's best
They
taken
struggle
as part of your
because
daily
no one
routine.
explains how
and
the
some
pieces
people,
fit together.
This mistake
Once
doesn't
you see the
just
pattern,
cancel the benefit, it
confusion
loses
masks
its
the
grip.
issue until
You
the
stop
damage is
second
further
guessing
along
every
and
decision.
much harder to reverse.
You stop wondering
There's no
whether
pain,
something should
no
be
warning
working.
sign.
You start
No clear
recognizing
signal
why
that
anything
anything
is
is
wrong,
wrong.
why it doesn't.
Just the slow
That's the
realization
standard
that
will
what
keep
should be
here.
helping simply
Each
isn't.
conversation
And
builds
while you
on the
wait
last.
for improvement,
Connecting
that never
signals
comes.
instead of
Your heart
isolating
and blood
symptoms.
vessels may be
If you
paying
stay
the price
curious,
quietly.
if you stay
In the
observant,
next few
you'll
minutes,
continue to
you're going
notice
to understand
how small
exactly
adjustments
why this
create
happens,
disproportionate
why
results.
so many well-intentioned
And that's
people
where real
fall into this
confidence
trap,
comes from,
and how
not
correcting
certainty,
one
not
overlooked
promises,
detail
but
can mean the
understanding.
difference
When
between
you have
zero
that,
effect
you're no longer
and real,
waiting for
measurable
permission to feel
change.
better.
Many
You're
people
moving
assume
forward
that
with
if they're
intention.
taking vitamin
Nothing you
D
learn
every
here
day,
requires
it must be
perfection.
working.
It doesn't
After all,
demand strict
it's simple,
routines or
it's
constant
common,
vigilance.
and it's been
recommended
It simply
for years.
asks for
But
awareness.
here, ask the
When you
uncomfortable
understand
truth.
how your body
Some people
interprets
take
signals,
vitamin D
small
faithfully
choices
for a
stop
long
feeling
time
random.
and never actually
They start feeling
activated in their
deliberate,
body.
and that sense
It
of
passes
direction
through
is
their
often
routine.
what people have
Shows
been
up
missing
on
the
a blood
longest.
test. Health
And
at
still
this
fails
stage
to
of
reach
life
the places that need it
isn't about
most.
fixing everything.
That's why this
it
feels
asks
so
about supporting
confusing.
what still
You
works
can be
well.
doing what you were
The
told
body
to
is
do,
remarkably
and still see no
responsive when it's
meaningful
given the
change
right
where it
conditions.
matters.
No
Alignment
improvement
matters
more
pressure.
than effort.
No sense that
Timing
your
matters
body is
more than
responding.
force.
In
In
some
some
cases,
cases, the
respected,
numbers
the
look
system
fine on
does
paper,
the rest
yet
quietly,
the underlying
in the
problem
background,
quietly
day
continues.
by day.
Carry
This is
that
the crack
perspective
most
with you.
people never see.
Not as a rule,
Vitamin D
not as a
isn't
checklist,
just about
but as a
swallowing
way
a pill.
of thinking. It depends
When
on a
something
chain
isn't
of steps
working,
when it's
the question
taken.
isn't
What
what
am
it's
I
taken
doing
with,
wrong,
and how
it's
your
what
body
signal is being
processes
missed
it throughout the
that
day.
single shift
Break that
keeps you
chain
out of
at the wrong
frustration,
point,
and
and the
inside
effect
understanding.
can drop to almost
That's where
nothing.
steady progress
That's
lives.
why two people
And
can
that's how
take the same
confidence
dose
is rebuilt
from the same
not all
bottle
at once
and have
but
completely
naturally
different
through
outcomes.
clarity.